everyone, this is Maki. Hey there, are you enjoying the movie Gundam Seed Freedom as much as I am? I'm so excited to see what happens next. It's so great to see all the new Gundam models and fun items being announced one after another. And the cast and staff are also doing their part by providing lots of information. In Japan, the official theater release wrapped up at the end of May. And on June 8, you can enjoy the show online. Many fans were pretty blown away that the online streaming would begin so early. However, this is just my personal guess, but I think the online streaming was planned from the very beginning. Hathaway's Rush was released in June 2021 and started online streaming in October. Seed Freedom was released at the end of January in Japan. The span of internet distribution is almost the same as Hathaway's Rush. This means that it's very likely the online streaming will have the same content as the movie. Director Mitsuo Fukuda mentioned in various places, like X on stage greetings, that there were parts of the movie depiction that could have been done better. Now, I'd like to share a few spoilers from the movie with you. If you are looking to watch the movie without any prior information, I'd highly recommend watching this program after you've seen the movie. Let's take a look at some of the scenes that didn't quite work in the presentation. Director Fukuda was really worried about Lars Klein's hair being cut short in the last scene. I'm sure they'll be able to fix this scene. In another scene, the Ziggurak's head armor is damaged, then repaired in the next scene. In the scene where the Infinite Justice Gundam's arm is destroyed, the color of the beam saber turns a lovely shade of red. I think this might be because it was set to the same color as the beam saber of Black Knight's Scorched Shiver. Or maybe it's just an expression of Athron's heart, leaning a bit towards the dark side, deciding to win even at the cost of Shua's life. Maybe the beam saber turned red, shedding tears of blood because Athron used the dark side of the Force. Oh, I'm just kidding. Just a little FYI, the Seed series is made by Sunrise, not Disney. This would simply be a failure. Don't worry, such mistakes might be corrected on the Blu-ray disc or other media. I'd love to take a moment to analyze some of Director Fukuda's remarks. We might even find a few small differences between the TV anime and the movie. Are you ready? Hey there! To get started, just press the subscribe button and activate the head beam saber. Just picture Kakali's voluptuous figure and get ready to go on the attack. Mr. Fukuda shared a comment on X. He spoke about various settings after an enthusiastic fan discovered a direction mistake. Let's take a moment to focus on the scene where the Strike Freedom Gundam performs its full burst attack. He is equipped with a railgun on his left arm. However, when he fires it, a green beam is emitted. However, after the beam is fired, a yellow light is emitted, which represents the railgun bullet. This happens in the blink of an eye. Mr. Fukuda was also pretty surprised by this fan's observation. And in response to the fans' enthusiasm, he was happy to talk about the settings. The Destiny Gundam is equipped with 2 linear guns. Having only one in one scene is a production mistake. When a linear gun runs out of bullets, the barrel is damaged. The linear gun that appeared in the movie is a disposable weapon that is not designed to be fed. The railgun comes with the Gelgook Menace gunflare. It is called the Prototype 35 Kai railgun. Since it's a prototype, it seems to be a disposable type. In fact, This railgun also reflects the theme of the Seed series. Coordinators are humans born with deliberately selected superior genes. Therefore, they have a lot of common genetic information and can be considered as having reached the biological limit. Coordinators have been portrayed as resistant to disease. However, this is only resistance to known diseases. Seiji Takeda, one of the production staff, mentioned that coordinators are in danger of being wiped out if an unknown disease appears. In Sea Destiny, there is a scene where the coordinator's doctor says Nautils have more advanced pharmaceutical technology. As a result, they couldn't save Stella's life. A similar situation occurred during the design of the Freedom Gundam. Zaft evaluated the military value of the power of beam weapons. Thus, there was a plan to unify all of the Freedom Gundam's weapons with beam weapons. However, a company called Mayos Military Industry strongly recommended the use of the railgun. They argued for the effectiveness of the railgun, citing its high defense against beam weapons with laminate armor technology and its high rate of fire. Perhaps Mayos was looking out for his own bottom line. But as a result, the railgun was adopted for the Freedom Gundam and performed well on the battlefield. The railgun was also adopted by Strike Freedom and Rising Freedom. The technology of the railgun survived and evolved on the battlefield. The prototype 35 railgun, which played an active role in the movie, was born. Let's focus on the battle between the Infinite Justice Gundam and Black Knight Squad Shiver. Right after Kakali's remote control dodges Shiver's attack, a barrage of railgun fire hits Shiver. This attack causes Shiver to lose his white arm and damages the engine on his back. Losing the white arm means losing the beam saber and the ability to use the heat sword. The decisive blow to defeat Shiver was delivered by the head beam saber, but the effective blow that determined the outcome was delivered by the railgun. By not losing diversity, Afran was able to win and return safely to the place where Kakali was waiting. Mr. Fukuda added more details to his comment about the railgun. When the CTV series started, we focused on depicting mobile suits being cooled down upon return. Beam weapons in the Seed series fly at speeds close to the speed of light. Therefore, it's impossible to follow the beams with a camera. So we decided to show the beams with a fixed camera in Seed. However, since the fan response was less than expected, we shifted our focus from theory to presentation halfway through production. The linear cannons used by mobile suits have a built-in cooling function. In reality, very few mobile suits use linear cannons. When the battle is over and they return, the linear cannons are replaced. For the movie, we tried to go back to theoretical representations. We depicted sparks differently in space and Earth environments. In space, metal particles don't cool off from sparks. So in space, sparks drift for a long time. The SEG team worked very hard. But for the final battle, we chose coolness over theory. Focusing on the representation of sparks could lead to new discoveries. It's a very small element. Even I didn't notice it. It also became clear that the linear cannon is an expensive weapon that needs to have its barrel replaced after every mission. That may be one reason it's not widely used in mass-produced mobile suits. The Black Knight Squad does not carry linear cannons. This may reflect their philosophy of not needing an incomplete weapon that needs to be replaced on every mission. Analyzed from this perspective, the Black Knight Squad could be portrayed as an entity that has lost diversity. In the Seed series, beam saber blades do not collide. Therefore, enemy sabers are blocked by shields. However, in the final battle between the Black Knight Squad Shiver and the Infinite Justice Gundam, it looks like the beam sabers on their legs collide. This could be one of those scenes where coolness was more important than theory. Of course, it's possible that the setting isn't broken. The beam sabers in the Seed series use Mirage colloid particles, and the Mirage colloid technology is also used in Forbidden Gundam's Jesh-Mei-Dik Panzer. It wouldn't be surprising if a new technology appears that refracts or repels colliding beam sabers. Correcting this scene might be difficult. Probably Shigeru Moritao, who is in charge of the settings for the Seed series, will work hard on the theory. Mr. Fukuda also commented on the upcoming online streaming of Seed Freedom. When the streaming of Gundam Seed Freedom starts, I wanted to try to hold a watch party with fans where we could chat together while watching. However, I have a lot of work to take care of, so I don't think I will be able to realize the plan of watching with fans. I'll be happy to see everyone enjoy it. There are many opinions among fans who say we want to see new stories in the Seed series. During an on-stage greeting, Mr. Fukuda mentioned we are working on a story depicting how Shin comes to pilot the Immortal Justice. It seems that Mr. Fukuda is very busy working on something at the moment. Maybe the day when another anime of the Seed series will be released is surprisingly close. Let's support it and wait for it together. There was also an announcement that the figure of Laos Klein is in production. It's Laos in the impressive pilot suit from the movie. Some fans have been asking, will there be a Kagami figure? Will a Kagami figure really be made? However, we need to calmly think about this for a moment. What would happen if Astram found out that we had a Kagami figure on display in our room? Let's wait while we think about how to defend ourselves against the head beam saber of the Infinite Justice Gundam. Thank you for watching until the end. See you next time.